There we go, boys. Sorry about that. I'm enjoying a cup of coffee as usual. Cutting it a bit close here, and we were actually meant to cast another game. It was supposed to be, what was it, Flying Ducks versus ALN, but they behaved rather childishly and bit questionable behavior from them, bit prima donna-like behavior, and they caused a lot of issues for the entire cup and problems. So ultimately we decided that we'll just stream this game instead between ASEET, and WGP2W. Oh god, I'm gonna mess that up. Wargaming Pay to Win is the name of the other team though. I'm gonna keep messing that up, so apologies. I'll just call them something like VG2. Yeah, that sounds easy. VG2. Anyway, what do we have up for us today? Well, the first map is going to be Islands of Ice, which is obviously quite interesting, since it is the new Islands of Ice. And I don't think I've actually seen a proper competitive game played on Islands of Ice, this new one. I mean, I have played personally on it, but I haven't actually seen how other teams are approaching this map, so it should be rather interesting. And of course, ASEET, aka ASEET, they are a Finnish team, so there's definitively a bit of bias there. I can't deny it. I mean, come on, I'm Finnish and there's a Finnish team playing. I can't deny that there's going to be a bit of bias in me for this game. But in general, I'm actually interested in seeing how ASEET will approach this. Because for those who aren't aware, ASEET is actually fairly experienced, but they aren't actually experienced in the T8 meta. They have won a cup. They have won a T5 cup called League, which was a smaller World of Warships cup, but it was limited to T5, so there was a bunch of Gremiashes and Kongos and, you know, that kind of meta. So obviously it's vastly different from the T8 playstyle, but it does speak of them having some experience. And I have personally also scrimmed against them with Omni, so they have obviously put the effort in and prepared for this cup. But I wouldn't expect anything less from the other team either, because they seem very enthusiastic about this cup and they were very much looking forward to these games, so I expect that they have also been preparing. In fact, I'm thinking that this cup in general is getting a lot of clans like really interested in the whole scrimming and clan war approach to the game, and basically getting them to... A lot of people enjoy getting to play the game with a much more tactical and strategical approach instead of just the random battles where pretty much anything can happen. And of course, I'm going to look forward to it, but one thing that's interesting about ASEET is that they're kind of known for that they run a no carrier meta. That means they actually play without the carrier all the time. In fact, even in the scrims against us, they played without the carrier. Now, I didn't think it was that successful against us, but I have no doubt that if they're still doing that, they've obviously refined it and basically been hammering it down. It's a pretty hard playstyle to play, because you're essentially giving up all that scouting information from the sky in exchange for all that firepower, for that additional firepower on the ground or on the sea, basically one additional ship to shoot at enemies. So it's a questionable trade for sure, but if you can make it work, it can be very offensive. Now, the no CV approach has been used before, of course. In fact, I almost lost with the Omni Flamus. I almost lost to a Rescarius team in team battles back in the day, 7 versus 7. Mostly because they just played very aggressive. Of course, the advantage with the carrier is that the longer the game goes, the higher the advantage the carrier offers, because he can whittle down ships eventually. But if you play very aggressively and basically just bring all that additional firepower you have, and you manage to use it to your advantage, then you can actually push the enemy back quite heavily. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can actually, if they're still using the no carrier method, or if they finally decided, no, this simply doesn't work, we're going to have our own Shokaku in this game. Or alternatively, if they aren't using the carrier, if they have managed to make it work in T8. Because the transition from T5 to T8 certainly isn't easy. It's a very, very different game. So that's going to be interesting to see how they decide to approach this. Actually, I should look at the lineups. Please tell me I have the lineups somewhere. Oh god. Where could I possibly find the lineups? god, I'll probably link them somewhere. Here we go, here's ASEET, and of course, Wargaming Pay to Win. Okay. Wargaming Pay to Win's description is interesting. We're a group of humble fishermen from a small Caribbean fishing village. We're also avid Omni collectors, yet still engaged in an endless hunt for Flamu while trying to add the final item to our collection, Omni Flavas. Since half our team joined Omni, some as regular members, others as spies, you can already present us as your sister clan, basically. We entered this tournament to show how much we suck, so we can take everyone out by surprise in this second season of team battles. Okay, well, now I'm definitively looking forward to what Wargaming Pay to Win when just to put out in this cup. Love their introduction. Definitively love their introduction. What time is it? 21:23. Okay, I'm of course in the past. Farah will of course be casting with me. I have sorted out the issues that made his mic go quiet. Apparently there was something in my settings that whenever I spoke it kind of like dampened the volume of everyone else, and I had that interfering with our cast, which was obviously a huge issue, but that has been sorted now. I also installed a mod that shows health bars on the sides of the screen. I had a lot of requests for that, and I figured why not. I don't personally care too much about the health bars. In fact, I will uninstall the mod for my personal use, but for the sake of casting, it will probably give a pretty good overview of like what the health bars are like on both allies and enemies in the game. So that should be basically an additional source of information. I might also enlarge the minimap one size bigger, just to give people a better overview of what's going on. Since we have no issues of having to cover things up since we're casting with a delay, so that makes life a lot easier for us. Okay, I could actually show you, as usual, I could start this off by showing you guys the lovely OMC trailer. Let's see, I probably have it somewhere here. Oh god, don't I have it? Nope, oops. Flumbering. Here we go, let's find the trailer. Find the trailer. There we go. Let's put this up here. Let's make sure it's not muted. Nothing is bugged. Good. Let's change our to monitor capture quickly. Let's disable islands. Oops, daisy, there we go. That is pretty damn hype. I do love that trailer. I like the effort they put into it, definitely worth it. Alright, let's close that. Let's first of all turn on islands, monitor capture. In fact, let's turn our game capture running. It should be running. There we go. Jumping into game. This time I have a Rouge, or Royo. I have no idea how to pronounce that, don't kill me please. And I will be, since it's probably easier to kill myself in this than it is actually in the Hosho, since you got 2 bombers as well, and you don't have really that much HP if you don't upgrade it, so we'll see. The experiments to kill ourselves continue. Now let's see. Has there been any progress?
Hey Flamu, how are you doing? You here?
Oh, hello. Perfect timing. I also just finished showing the trailer to my viewers.
Fantastic. So I was just telling the viewers here that we are watching a... How on earth do you pronounce this team? ASEET?
ASEET.
ASEET. Okay, and versus Wargaming Pay to Win.
Deep E or like long E, ASEET.
Gotcha. And we're so our first game today is on Islands of Ice. So we're just looking for the training room.
The training room is actually already up.
Oh, here we go. Yes, it is. Can I please be on the? That's a good question.
I think it's better to have me on ASEET, considering the pronunciation of the names and everything.
Man, I got my whole stream set up for me to be on that team though.
Oh, well, you do realize I'm highly biased for ASEET because they're Finnish, just like me.
Well, that's why you can go on the opposite team then, okay?
Do you really have everything set up?
Yes. This will be hilarious, alright?
Oh.
Watching me trying to Galgamesh their names up.
Oh, okay. Wait, so you want to be on ASEET? Damn, I wanted to be on their side because they actually play a very interesting style of not having any carrier.
Well, what?
Yes, I have. You see, this is why I wanted to be on their side, because I have scrimmed against them with Omni in the past, and they run a very unique style of not using any carrier. And if I look at their lineup
why are we
now,
on the same team?
wait, we're both on the same team. Yeah. So do you still want to be on ASEET? Because I would really love to be able to commentate from this side. We should have communicated this earlier.
Fine, I'll do that. I'll change it in game. Okay, well apparently I'm on the left team now.
Yeah, sorry about this. We should have talked about this earlier, of course. Kind of silly that we never did. Kind of bit of a mix-up here.
No, it's fine. Wow, you're not kidding. They really
Yeah,
are.
yeah. That's why I kind of introduced the team. Of course, you missed it since your chat was
No,
muted.
it's fine. Hey,
But
normally we talk about the team compositions, but we'll do that just as we go into the start.
indeed, what I of course talked to my stream about already. What I wanted to say was we have scrimmed against ASEET in the past, and if you didn't know, ASEET actually won a World Warships League, Tier 5 league. They won the entire thing, and they kind of became a bit known for they actually never play with the carrier. It's part of their game plan. They never play with the carrier. And when we scrimmed against them with Omni, they also refused to use any carrier. So that's why I was very interested.
Defensive fires, okay.
Yeah.
2 Atagos, some stealth and regens, 1 Kutuzov,
Additional smoke.
Bismarck, North Carolina,
And
All
New
right.
Orleans for radar.
And the New Orleans, yes. And on the opposing team, this is Wargaming Pay to Win. We have Shukaku, Twin Bensons, Kutuzov, another Kutuzov, and Atago. So that obviously they're down 1 cruiser. They don't have the radar cruiser, and they've got Bismarck, North Carolina. Oh, okay. So they're basically, in a nutshell, taking out a New Orleans in exchange for Shukaku.
Yes, their plan is always to... Well, they try to replace the scouting advantage with the firepower advantage on the sea. And I was actually very interested to see if they were going to keep up with their plan from the past, because they weren't that successful against Omni when we... Oh, what happened?
I'm not in the game anymore. Don't start.
Indeed, what on earth happened?
Where is the game? Have you started?
No, I didn't get in.
I'm back to the... Oh, what? It's been rehosted.
Oh, interesting. Well, plenty of time to talk. Anyways, what I was saying is they run this tactic, or this is part of basically their plan. They try to overwhelm and push in hard and basically negate the advantage of the carrier by having more firepower on the sea.
Combined anti-air if you stay as a blob as well, I guess.
Indeed, and that's why they have all the battleships with anti-air, and of course stuff like New Orleans and such. They are honestly quite immune to any sort of carrier play. Also because carrier play in this type of gameplay is usually focused on air superiority. To counter the enemy carrier, they actually are able to avoid any sort of they don't phase strike setups that often. Okay, let's see if they can move me in.
Here you go, guys. We can see the setup now. Just waiting for Flamu to be moved over to the team, and we are good to go, I reckon. Assuming the training room doesn't crash again.
Indeed, that was unfortunate. Well, considering the Portugal match, this is already an improvement.
Yeah, that's true. Yesterday went quite well, however.
Yes, in the end it was amazing, but let's not forget the 40 minutes of waiting. Alright, let's put my coffee to the side so I don't annoy people with that clinking and clanking. Here we go.
So here we can see, at least on my stream, that the slightly friendlier UI showing you what ships are where. Double bends on each team, one going for double Kutuzov against one Kutuzov, double Attigo versus one Attigo, and then it's North Carolina, Bismarck, identical battleships. The really only difference is that it's a New Orleans for the Shikaku and a Kutuzov for Atago. So the teams are relatively balanced in that sense, except from the shockingly difference of the carrier.
Indeed, and I think they want to... Sorry, I think they want to be using that New Orleans heavily in this gameplay. Especially, I think they're kind of happy to see the double Kutuzov, double Benson, because New Orleans pretty much straight up counters that smoke play that they're probably hoping to enact.
Well, as again, I keep telling stream, we need to kill ourselves because we're in carrier so we can get up to observer mode, so just bear with us for the first 60 seconds here. Well, alright, so you check in the disposition ABC, right? Do you favor east or west here? As the teams get into position?
I think taking C is a bit easier from the east side, because you have so much cover from the east side, so many islands to hide behind, and it's easier to disengage on that side as well.
I think we can see. No, they're actually split. There's no guaranteed like single path they're doing. Some team members from Wargame, well, Pay to Win, are going Bravo, or at least looks they're probing Bravo, where other ones are definitely moving up to Alpha.
Yeah, ASEET looks like they're pushing very hard into B. I think part of their game plan is to secure B as quickly as possible. Yes, they're pushing straight in. Absolutely no hesitation.
I gave myself 4 fires, so I'm quite impressed.
Yeah, I still managed to kill myself quicker. I'm impressed by the Ruyu tactics. Clearly better than running the Hosha. You kill yourself faster.
Okay guys, here we go. Let's have a look. Scouting going off from the pay-to-win carriers. Dive bombers drop their payload. They're watching for Bravo Alpha.
They're gonna find both these Bensons, I think.
Yep, sending a torpedo bomber down to Charlie. Yep, so the Spence in the center is spotted, and now the can see more or less the entire team. Oh, how much can you see from the pay-to-win side?
Only the Bismarck. They have no vision whatsoever, and this is of course the huge disadvantage of running this no carrier setup, is that you completely lack vision. You only see what the Benson scout, and because of the Kutuzov Benson setup, they're obviously going to be smoking themselves up all the time. So this is the question: can ASEET overcome this huge vision disadvantage?
Right, because the Shikaku, he doesn't have anything to deal with. There's absolutely no reason why he can't just park bombers at maximum range. And if he micros all day long, he doesn't have to fighter manage in that type of sense. So he's got essentially 5 planes that can scout and hold the torpedo bombers back for hitting later on. True,
but also you got to notice here that of course for Wargaming Pay to Win, the Shikaku is running 3 fighters, aka air superiority spec. So he basically missed opportunity, and his strike attempt was shot down instantly.
Well, I mean, if you don't know, this is what they do, but if they take it on board that the enemy team definitely doesn't go with carriers, next game you would shift back to 2-2-2.
Indeed, right? That's the thing, that do they dare to? Because in Omni we even went Strike Lexington one game, and they still didn't run carrier, and we just absolutely dominated that game. So the question is, will Wargaming Pay to Win dare to make the same kind of play, where they just go full-on strike setup?
Well, Bravo taken for the central group of ASEET.
Indeed, they haven't honestly, ASEET haven't really lost any HP at all, and they do have the capture advantage. So far there's been no setbacks with the no carrier setup.
Right, so the big difference here in the team composition right now is the fact that ignoring the side differences, your team is all in one big blob more or less, whereas the team from Pay to Win, they're essentially split evenly between north and south. They've just taken Alpha, they're taking Charlie, the Bensons are in the north and the south along with the battleships and supporting cruisers. So
Let me turn down the volume.
It can go either way. Basically, you know, your team can crush one part of the fleet and get all their guns to bear.
Indeed.
But at the same time, they can be harassed on both sides.
Honestly, what I think they're doing, they have spotted the North Carolina and the Otago and the smoke up north. I think what ASEET is doing now is they're planning to rush the entire force up north and cap A at the same time. And I think if the fleet up north doesn't disengage quickly enough, they're going to be caught here.
North Carolina's actually running away though, so it's not like he's in a nose-on position where he can't escape.
But he's hitting a lot of damage doing that. But he should be able to get in cover behind the island. Actually, I don't know, they're charging full speed after him. This is what I meant though, that they're trying to push their advantage as quickly as possible, because they know that if the game goes on for a long time, the carrier will become
North Carolina, Bismarck, Kutuzov, Benson, and another Kutuzov are all south in Charlie, and they can't fight. They can't shoot too far away, so they're...
Ooh, this North Carolina's being... Oh, he's gonna die. He needs to be smoked up, but I think they already used their smoke. Torps coming in to delay.
Might be able to get round the island. I don't think he's dead yet.
Bismarck's seen the torps with Hydra, but I don't think he can dodge them. There's gonna be some definitive impacts here.
At least one, maybe two.
One on the nose, there's gonna be another on the nose.
He's half health. I mean, the same damage he's done to North Carolina, now the Bismarck is taken because of those torps.
North Carolina found reprieve behind the island. He realized he couldn't make the full escape. The question is though, how will he make it out from here? Because they're definitively gonna chase him down. There's no way they're gonna let him just sit here.
And the Benson isn't staying to deny the cap by saying hiding in the north of A. So they're going to grab the point, but at the same time they've abandoned the Bravo cap. So the force from pay to win is going to come up from behind them. Well, check the North Carolina struggling at the back. The Malhadras, he's being clipped by a couple of shots.
Indeed, but they have the smoke to cover the retreat. The question is though, do the points they gain by capping B offset the points they're going to lose from losing those Manus? Oh, Otago! Oh, he turned in just in time.
Wow, 1k, 2k.
Oh my lord, this Otago, he's running the HP buff. I'm not even joking. 43k HP. He's running the HP buff on his Otago.
I mean, this Encal in the north, he can't escape, and he's stuck. The Benz might be able to torp him from the rear. No, he's not. He's doing a torp wave from the nose, but this Encal's reversing. The whole team is surrounding this island. I think he just needs to stall for as long as possible, but he's pretty much dead.
They are stealth firing. The Benson up here is stealth firing Kanti, I think. Yeah, it's a Benson stealth firing him, and he's been set on fire, and I do not know if he has repair after those torpedoes. Probably not.
The entire southern side of the team now can't even see. I see. The pay to win. There you go. He goes down now.
And then
really big crit from the Bismarck. So they're down a battleship now.
But they have no caps. They don't even have A yet.
That's true. That's true. The attack is going to stay behind. So point-wise, they're still actually technically lead due to the sinking of the battleship, but it'll very quickly fall away. It's really a question of can they keep up the attack, keep the sight up, and not get hit by running away torps.
Oh, these torps on Kanti are massive, I think. Oh, he got clipped by two, and he must... Does he have repair? He does have repair. That was very lucky. If they manage to secure this Benson, then it's going to be pretty huge for them. But I think one of the bigger issues of this map is the fact that it's a very, very large map. And this kind of constant aggression is kind of hard to play on these huge maps where the enemy can just flee.
They're about to lose one of the Bensons, the General Olsen.
Oh! Good aim.
If I was the carrier, I would definitely try and bomb the attacking destroyer, because the destroyer is what's scouting them.
Yeah, honestly, I might have gone for the Otago. They had only one Otago capping there. If you could have delayed the cap, they would have gained such a point lead. But so far...
Kutuzov is trying to get 18-kilometer hits on the wounded Bismarck.
It's not a bad idea, because they know who's used his repair. All they need is like 2 lucky fires and Kanti is dead. But okay. Kanti is surviving so far, and they are regrouping now. I think they're gonna push... My guess would be a pushing down into B afterwards.
I think, so from the point of view of pay to win, most of their ships have now stopped on the southern side of Bravo and are just waiting to see what happens from the ASEET point of view.
And they have a really good positional advantage, I feel, because if they want to push into B, they basically have to push through bottlenecks. Either they have to push through on basically VG's side of the map, or they have to push through the middle bottleneck. And either way, they're gonna have to funnel.
Is the Kutuzov from pay to win. He's firing, he's exposing himself, so he's the only guy that the enemy team I presumably can see.
Yes, but at this range and with 31k HP, as long as he doesn't give any foolish broadsides, he should be just fine. because he has so much time to dodge the shells at that distance. He should be fine. Question is here, they have seen the setup that is, or the fleet that is setting up in the middle of B. The question is, what are ASEET going to do now? Because basically time works against them. If they only have one cap and the enemy has two, time will constantly work against them. The lead they generated by the kills is already evaporating. It's almost even again. Oh, excuse me 1 second. Just a quick. Having to fix an issue. There we go.
Oh, he just took a really big crit on his backside. He's down to 15k now.
Oh, it looks like ASEET are making their move though. They're going to push through the base. Oh, we have Benson who's smoking up in front of them, and it looks like they're going to push down this flank. Meanwhile, they have a North Carolina setting up in A to be able to flank the fleet at B.
We see that, but the fact is the central team also sees that. The entire team is spotted for Pay to Win's point of view. And Kutuzov's just smoked up himself.
Oh, they're focusing Conti, I think.
And they can see what the enemy can.
I'm surprised there's no carriers spotting these DDs that are pushing in. Just one carrier, a few planes up here just constantly spotting these DDs would make smoking up for the fleet so much harder.
See Ridgeson, right, and these North Carolinas pushing to the central into Bravo. I question this because he's taking the fire of all the ships, and now it's a role reversal. The ASEET guys can't get their guns to bear.
Oh, and he has no support. Yeah. I thought he was going to park behind the island and just wait for his team to push in, but he pushed in too deep, I think. Now he has to reverse.
So he's not going to take a lot of AP damage,
but fires. I'm surprised the battleships are shooting AP and not HE, I think. They should definitely be going for the fires at this point.
That's one fire on.
Yeah, where's the carrier though? The carrier should have seen that this guy was isolated.
I saw the Benson very briefly. Yep, we can see the Benson again. So Buzz Light is lit up for the Kutuzov. Kutuzov's down to 11k in his own smoke. He's actually quite isolated, the Kutuzov, so if he runs out of his smoke and he gets spotted, he just needs to see stealth though, because Kutuzov's stealth is 11.1 kilometers. So long as the planes are over the Benson, you know, he can't approach undetected.
I don't like these bombers. They shouldn't be going this way. They should have gone the other side. He's going right into the clumped up ships. He's going to lose planes. I mean, go for the Benson. Questionable at best. Benson has his own AA as well.
Oh, Kutuzov has just turned up from a seat and is going to smoke up the North Carolinas down now to 26k. We can still see the North Carolina yet though. It's
but look at the scores. Look at the scores. In this brief time, they've already gone up to almost 700 points.
They need to make the push right
That's
now.
the thing. They can't sit around. Basically, they pushed into A while it gave them an advantage. They spent too much time resorting themselves and reorganizing, and they basically lost the advantage they gained. And now time is working very harshly against them. They have to make a push now.
And the thing is, all three of their battleships are pretty heavily wounded. I mean, you know, they're down to half health or less, right? This is the ASEET team.
Yeah, and Buzzlight is smoking up the fleet again, but they're not using it to push. They're just smoked up. Where's the push? Where's the push? They must say that time is working against them.
Kutuzov on the pay to win side is now down to 6.2k. If I'm him, I just stealth up and just don't fire.
Yeah, the Bismarck is in the open. Yoshi is being focused a bit.
Just run out. Now, the fact is, there's a Benson and a Kutuzov here. They could do a fresh smoke, I guess.
The North Carolina Ridgeson, he got dropped down to 14k, but he's healing up now. His heal came up.
The Bismarck is, well, he's turning away from broadside. Is this the push happening now?
Yeah, it looks like the push is happening now. Oh, they see. I think they were waiting for the smoke to vanish down at B before they made their push. They need to score kills though. That's the thing. They have to score kills to stem this bleeding.
Well, it's one weak cruiser kill. It's one light cruiser from the Kutuzov, you know, to end it all. And the destroyers, however, or sorry, destroyer singular for pay to win. He's got a lot of work to do here because the torps are one that kind of makes a difference. And what's got me is the one Atago, right? He's got like 34k HP, but he's miles away next to the Kutuzov. He's not in a position where he can use.
Oh yeah, I see. If Alex is, he can barely even fire from there. I'm surprised he's there. Oh, I missed it. What happened there?
Well, he just got he was broadsiding and he got smashed. The Kutsov, and he got all of your team could see him, and he absolutely got railed. And the fact is, the push is happening, and the team knew the push was happening. This is pay to win.
Bismarck is the focus target for pay to win now, though. He's down to 8k and firing, but the advantage of having both their DDs alive is showing for ASEET now, because they are smoking up.
Is that the attackers and the Benson are not in a position to torp this.
Massive hit on Kingpin. Massive hit, half his HP gone in one volley. He gave broadside in the North Carolina and he was instantly punished. And now he's being focused down. He can't get into the smoke in time, or can he? I don't know if he has a repair up.
We can't see Ridgestone because Ridgestone's nose on and reversing, and there's a torp wave incoming from the enemy.
Oh, Kanti might go down. Kanti is burning. He's 2k HP and burning. 1.8k, 1.3, 900, 500, 151. Oh, he is down. They have almost 900 points now. What? The Kutuzov showed himself? Why would he do that? This is very risky, what Tehehe is doing.
And the attacker's also pushing in. He's trying to get the kill on the Kutuzov that's crippled down at 1.4.
Yes, but the Kutuzov shouldn't have showed himself. He's too squishy at that HP. Oh, I think Beavers is going to get the kill.
He's within 11.1 kilometers, so he's 9.6.
370! The next volley might kill him.
He's going to get picked off. It's whether or not this Atago gets punished for the push. And now
that's a kill.
So it's still in the favor slightly of pay to win. But the torp waves are chasing down the battleships in the center, and they're being pressured on all sides.
And the issue is they're within B now, so they stop the points gain from B. As long as they're contesting the point, pay to win is no longer gaining the points.
And they're down on ships. This is the other crucial point. The loss of the 2 ships early on is going to really hurt them.
And Kingpin has to flee the smoke, and he's being highly focused now. Oh, he's burning heavily. Full focus from everyone on him. He's obviously a focus target. He used his repair now. This is his last ditch. Oh!
The New Orleans, though.
What happened there?
He absolutely smashed him with the Citadel. On the
Indeed, that was a long-range Citadel smash as well. Question if his Kingpin can survive. 915 points.
He's going up. The Benson's coming close. He might have an additional smoke ready for him. That's the Gallagher Benson for pay to win.
Oh, the heal on the Kingpin doing so much work here. The heal ran out now. The question is, will he get set on fire or not? He's been very lucky so far. Oh, and he gets smoked up! So lucky to not get a fire on him.
They've still got a single capture point. They're up 930 points. 1 kill will do it, or just surviving. Now, the North Carolina should survive in the smoke. The torps probably won't be ready in time. But
oh, Benson gets hit by a torp! That was a huge misplay. That was a widespread torp.
The secondaries on the Bismarck were lighting up. They don't have sight in the Benson right now. That's the carrier's job. Light up.
Oh no, 700 HP! He's dead! They have 972 points! That misplay by the Benson eating the torp might turn this entire game. They just need to survive now. They will gain the points in like half a minute if he just survives.
It's critical. The fact is that the North Carolina just doesn't show where he is. And if anything, he can fire and...
Oh, he might... Bismarck might kill that Tago.
There's both Atagos are under threat right now from both the different battleships.
So is the Bismarck though, he's being focused by them all. 990 points.
He's gonna survive.
Is the Torps gonna hit the North Carolina?
No. The first wave won't, the second wave will.
996! Are they really gonna win this out?
The Torps will hit the North Carolina in about 4 seconds.
Oh, 1000 points! I don't believe it, they managed to endure. They slowed them down and endured long enough. Oh, what a fantastic first game. Oh my god. I can't believe they managed to endure that fight.
A lot of plane kills from the North Carolina.
No, yeah, the North Carolinas did so much work.
Obviously no plane kills on the enemy team side, a few from the scouts, and that's about it.
Only 3 kills from Wargaming Pay to Win, but they still won the game, even though they lost more ships.
That's impressive. Right.
If ASEET hadn't spent so much time up at A, they would have been able to win that game, I think. But because of how much time they spent...
To expire, right?
Yeah, exactly. They had to wait for the beast smoke to expire, but I feel like they waited too long. I understand they were hesitant to take the risk, but they waited so long that they basically let the 2-cap advantage become such a huge deal.
The point, right? Exactly. So that is round 1. So round 2, we are going into Tears of the Desert.
Oh, that's another big map, though.
It is a really big map. That's true. Yeah, so we're just waiting for the map to come up. Do you, now that you're pay to win, do you change your CV to 2-2-2 now, or do you go retard strike Lexington? I mean, do you gamble that the enemy team doesn't bring a carrier? Because that would be quite a surprise.
I feel like I would go 2-2-2, going full strike. I mean, based on the fact that they went fighter Lexington makes me, or fighter Chicago makes me believe that they're not familiar with the reputation ASEET has. So I would, based on not seeing the CV, I would probably play it safe and I would go 2-2-2. So in case you face an enemy carrier, you still have some fighting power. But there's no point going air superiority again if you're not facing any carrier. That's, I think, foolish. I would go 2-2-2 Chicago now.
And the ship composition, I mean, you're going on Tears of the Desert. It's big map, still has quite some cover from the islands in the center. Do you keep your team composition? I mean, do you go with the radar setup? Would you ditch the New Orleans and go with the Chapayev because of its increased range?
That's kind of the thing. I think on that map I would probably prefer the Chapayev because the New Orleans, well, they're both squishy if focused, that's the thing. But the Chapayev has better range to be useful from. And I feel when they gain these glimpses of ships they can shoot at, I feel like the increased range of the Chapayev would serve them better than the New Orleans because he could help in with the DPS. Whereas I'm not really certain how much the New Orleans actually even got to shoot at that game. I felt like he was more of a radar bot than anything else.
Well, I'm guessing it's...
Is the room on?
I think it's... no, it's not. I think ASEET made the first one, so we're waiting for Pay to Win to host this game. Because
whose map was this, by the way?
I believe Islands of Ice was ASEET's map.
Oh.
And Pay to Win is picking the Tears of the Desert, with the third one being, Trident, as always.
Well, if they weren't familiar with their tactic of running no CV, then Tears of the Desert is a very lucky choice indeed, because that's such a huge map is, of course, an advantage for the team that is running a carrier.
But it's a huge map to go from one point to the next cap point.
Exactly, and if they try the blob tactic, a sneaky DD could just circle around and cap behind them, because they have no planes to cap them.
If I am Pay to Win and I'm on the assumption that the enemy team is not playing carrier, okay, and you can assume that they don't do it again, it's kind of a gamble, then I might drop the Kutuzovs, although they give smoke, maybe keep one, but flip the second Kutuzov into an Atago, an extra torpedo ship and an extra stealth ship.
Yeah.
So that way you've got 2 Bensons, 2 Atagos, that's 4 set of 10 kilometer style torps that can punish blob plane. We're still waiting.
Kant is PMing me. He's very frustrated about. He's pretty frustrated about the game. He's telling me that he thought it was completely their game, but the New Orleans got one shot apparently.
He did. Yeah, he was full health.
Full health. Yeah, he said it was completely our game, and then the New Orleans got one shot. So that was basically the play of the game. The Bismarck finding probably the triple citadel, I think, double or triple citadel on the New Orleans and deleting him. But then again, that is, of course, the risk you take when you play a cruiser like that and you show broadside. It's just, you cannot show that broadside.
What is going on here? Do we have anyone we can talk to? Why is this taking so long? I'm assuming we're waiting for Pay to Win to host the game. And theoretically speaking, they can take up to 10 minutes between runs, so... And it's also interesting that every game that we've casted so far, everyone has taken Bensons. Nobody has taken a Loyang and no one's taken a Fubiki. Dude, what if we go extremely hardcore here? You are not bringing a carrier. I'm going to gamble everything that you're not taking carrier because I won the first game, so I want to really gamble in the second one. Why take Bensons if... Well, I guess you want to fight the other Bensons, but the Bensons are good because of defensive fire. Take Fubikis, extra torpors, extra range, right? Okay. No. Having a second Atago would work, and that's it. Not changing to Vivikeys. Did you get any feedback from your Finnish people? Okay. Pay to win to host. Yeah. The other who? Oh, so they're taking the full. Oh, okay, okay. Well, that's all right. Fair enough. Nope, that's true. I mean, at winning team, you're thinking it through. Maybe you're swapping some players around. You know, that type of stuff. Using your reserves. Maybe thinking how you can cheese the no carrier. Yep. Well, so riddle me this right. See, when it comes to play, would you ever bring a hipper into this game mode? I mean, it seems to be the kind of the hipper and the Mogami seem to be the. Hmm. But now, tons of secondaries as well, right? Yeah. And I'm guessing the Atago outplaces the Mogami. It's just a straight up upgrade. Oh, game's up. Would you tell your Finnish contacts that the room is up? Or does he have to wait for the captain to tell him he can come in? That's true. Okay, so we got Shikaku. This is pay to win side. So we're still waiting for their 10th person. So we don't know. Sorry, their 9th person. Bismarck, Enkal. Yep. Tango. They're still going with double Kutuzov. I guess they value the smoke more than the torps. Without having to give away the destroyers, absolutely. And he's not at fear of being bombed. And the extra torps as well. I mean, if you know the enemy team has shown their hand and they play in blobs, then oh, hello. Well, this shut the hell up. Speculation over. Have they brought a carrier? Are they abandoning their tactic? Maybe they're counter meta the meta. So they're going to be bringing carriers on the assumption. Well, maybe, or maybe it's just a random person. He's not on. Yeah. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, okay. This is going to be interesting. I wonder if the other guys have been caught out. So I take it back. Going double Kutuzov. Oh, they also got a Chapayev. Same battleships. So it's the same battleship tie-off. One Bismarck each, 2 North Carolinas. There's now a Shikaku each. So the plane composition strike package is going to be very, very interesting. We have 2 Kutuzovs against 1 Kutuzov. Well, then there's 1 Chapayev and 1 Atago versus Tago here and the double Benson. And oh, no, that's just a random straggler. That's a good question. I mean, they're identical here with the exception that instead of a Kutuzov, they're using a Chapayev. That's the only difference. So they've got a radar ship instead of an anti-air smoking ship. And this could be a completely different tactic, not blobbing and spreading out. Well, we're going to play the standard game of bombing ourselves so we can get into observer mode. My torps were close to him when the game I was streaming because he came towards me as I was bombing myself. Just double for me and no flooding. So I might actually not die from this. 11k, thank you. Oh, never mind. That way my torps that just hit. Lol. Oh, where are my planes going? Dude, I have no idea what's going on here, but all my planes are flying into the center, even though I told them to go in the corner. Yeah, seriously, what the hell? Alright, fine, I guess it's just a weird bug. It's gonna have an impact. Ah, what the fuck? Well, hopefully. The problem is, it's wasting his ammunition. He's used a barrage up on that, and that's going to have an impact in the game due to the fighter ammo. Yep, I know, seriously. I mean, I guess it's just going to have to live with it. I mean, it's going to get 8-8 down quickly, but it shows the enemy team, there's the Chapayev, there's the Benson, and there's the Enkau. Alright. Well, in terms of pay to win, they have 2 cruisers. They have an Atago, Kutuzov, double North Carolina, and Benson heading for the Alpha cap. They've forgone the Bravo cap. They're not going to go in, and it looks like the Bismarck, Kutuzov, and Benson are forming a sort of northern flank, just watching to see what happens while their carrier stays in the original spawn. The Chicago and our team, that is the pay to win, went 2-2-2. Yes. Okay, so it's fair and balanced. We'll just have to just see how it plays off. They know there's an Atago. They've been clicking somewhere in the northwest. This is the team from Pay to Win. They don't see it yet, but the dive bombers from their CV is now flying in that general direction. Sight on the enemy team, however, is very poor. Pay to Win sees nobody from the enemy team right now. But they're counter-capping Charlie with a single Benson. Oh, we see the Atago now running away. So now we see that the rest of the pay to win kind of group on the alpha point is pushing up. And thing is, do you push into B? Because B kind of seems like a trap for torps and for fire damage everywhere. And what about the Benson and Charlie? Are there no defenders? Because if they take this, they're going to take a big point lead. A little tap, yeah. But the thing is that the enemy Benson's on 10k, who is now being torpedo bombed. Has he got his defensive fire? Yeah, Bud's Light. Yeah, he's got two torpedo bombers to try, and he's got a single fire is tagged. However, the other fire, no, he doesn't need to release. He's got another fire that could work for it. Ah, never mind. Oh, and he's really close to the Kutuzov as well. Yeah, single torp nice. But the important thing is, yeah, this is the thing. That attack. If not, oh, why even got a torp hit? What? Okay, that attack pushed the Benson away, which allowed them to get the Charlie cap, and it also forced the fighter away. Yeah. Oh, dude, what happened to the Kutuzov? Ginormous just got an absolute smashed from 13k, from 40 down to 13. He was broadside. He must have taken a long-range hit. It's not going well right now. Pay to Win's ships are practically all at full health. Plus, they've got 2 of the 3 cap points. Well, they're sending the bombers now on Gallagher, and he's got no fighter support, so he's going to have to rely on his own defensive fire. Well, the bombers aren't going for him right now. I mean, it's the perfect opportunity. It's not happening, though. Well, it's smart. I mean, he's got the C cap. He doesn't need to stay there. He just... Oh, right. Okay. And dude, look at this. Second Benson, the old General Olsen, the team leader from Pay to Win, who was on the Alpha cap, is now flipping the Bravo cap. That means they're denying points. And they might even get it. Exactly. So what are they doing? Why are they playing so passive?
Oh god, I had my mic muted. I just realized I had my mic muted.
Okay.
I have no idea how that happened.
Tune into Odin Mortis Twitch to
Oh god, that is awkward. That is awkward.
But can you elaborate what ASEET's doing here? Why they're not pushing? Why they're allowing?
I honestly don't know. They shouldn't allow this to happen. I have no idea why they're allowing this to happen. Because
they're not counter pushing Charlie. They're just sitting watching Bravo.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting and defending this 1 point, but they should be making a play for basically C. That's the easier one to cap.
So in the Ridgeson, North Carolina, he's on fire next to the rocks. He's been marked up on the minimap now for the pay to win, and they're just gonna keep fire tapping. He's not getting any support either because the ship behind them is the Atago, not a smoke keeper. Oh, but dude, check out Fallox X. You guys can see him. He's fighting Everson. A Tago fight. He's down to 23k, and he is off by himself, so he could get a couple hits from other cruisers.
I mean, I don't know what they're doing right now. Where's their play plan? I mean, they're still just sitting here at B. What's their game plan?
And the thing is, now the rest of the team has caught up, the Southern clump, so they're now pushing into Bravo. And the more that the Southern team pushes up from pay to win, the more they group up with our Northern team, which means they can do a full-on fleet fight, and they're dominating the map. I mean, they're going to get all 3 capture points here.
Oh, wow. How did... Gnomus gave broadside again and got deleted again. He already ate a bunch of damage, but this was a huge mistake. I feel like they didn't have any game plan for this map. I feel they're so lost. I mean, they're sitting here struggling to even hold B. Meanwhile, A and C is in the enemy control.
They completely changed their setup. They went carrier. I mean, they ditched the cruiser. I mean, when in doubt, attack.
Oh, Count Mordek is messing up though. What is he doing? Count Mordek is being way too cocky right now. He shouldn't be doing.
Kutuzov, the one that was wounded, yeah. And
yeah, but Count Mordek is in the open showing broadside in Kutuzov. This is mad.
So if you check out Felix X, he's gonna be bombed. We're watching him on the south on the A cap. Maybe he's waiting for the defensive fire to end. Alright, here it comes.
Oh, Chapayev just got tagged. Huge double citadel on the Chapayev. He's down to 10k HP, the Tohelo one, and he's being focused by the rest as well. And yeah, I think you got a bunch of viewers right there because I had been muted for probably 15 minutes because of the delay and I didn't notice. I have no idea how it happened, but... oh god. I know how it happened, by the way.
The tag on the side, he's rotating around, causing as much delay. Yeah, he's managed to get 4 plane kills and the defensive fire is now triggered. So he'll take 1 torp and that's it. So escapes quite easily there.
How is the Chapayev doing, Tohelo?
Looking, Chapayev is down to 60.
Yeah, I know, but do they have vision of him? It looks like...
And they're firing HE on him right now. Kutuzov, Benson, Bismarck can all see him.
I don't think he has repair anymore.
Now he's out of sight. The shells are still in flight. Oh no, we see him again, because the planes are getting closer to...
Oh, he's getting lucky, he's getting 0 damage hits.
Who's taking Charlie back for ASEET?
They have a Benson there. Oh, he's gonna get... Oh no, he backed up too far. Wow. 700 to 350. I feel like this is a slaughter.
And this is a complete role reversal now. Well, not entirely reversal, but the point we're getting at is that in the last game, it was pay to win who were down on ships and just had to hold the push. Now, it's... you see ASEET is down on ships and still needs to make the push. So it's in a worse scenario than he had previous game.
Indeed, I mean...
And the C cap is now stalled because the other Benson Gallagher is in play.
And Buzzlight is being spotted. He's not oh, is he being torped as well? No, he's gonna dodge the torps. But they are delaying the cap. Oh, they hit him again. They completely reset the cap. Wow, 755 already.
Can see Gallagher Benson on Charlie?
Nope. They can't see anything.
Dive bombers from...
oh, now they're seeing...
The Kutuzov. What? He's just wasted his planes right next to the Kutuzov.
Why is he going for the Kutuzov?
You should have just stayed near the Benson and kept tagging the Benson with
I feel like this Carriers has made some... I think I'm honestly understanding why they're not really playing Carrier. I don't mean to be rude, but some of his decision making and has been very, very questionable here.
So now here's another problem: is that the JNJK92, your NenCal player, and the Bismarck are both broadsiding as they push into Charlie, the force that is south of Bravo from Pay to Win.
Indeed, and they're paying for it. But this Count Mordek, Kutuzov is in the open again. He's really playing with fire, I feel. If that North Carolina managed to push out and tag him, then Count Mordek can get one shot.
And this is it. They're on nearly 800 points, so there's no choice but to push. However, the Benz from Gallagher is not being spotted. Now he's going to get spotted. I can see the fighter getting close to him. He's the guy that needs to die or be pushed off the cap for Charlie.
Honestly, I feel like they are pushing into C to secure C, but that's costing them B.
I don't see anything on B, and now the slow creep of the southern team from Pay to Win is taking Bravo.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're not making any headway. They're getting C, but they're giving up B in the process.
Skeet are just playing super passive.
Yeah, and I mean,
still no kills.
They can't play super passive. That's the thing. If you're at a cap disadvantage, you are forced to be the aggressor. That's the advantage of holding the caps. Oh, it looks like Carrier is finally going for the Benson. The Carrier is finally going for the Benson. Gallagher is about to extract.
Because he's already taken down 2 planes, or they use short of a wave already. Does he know how to bomb it?
No, it's not defensive. The torps aren't spread.
Oh, well, the second wave is taking far too long. Bad turn by the Benson. Nope.
No, this is a bad turn. He should have turned in.
Lucky.
Wow, that was some serious desync on my screen. Holy crap. But that Benson should have turned in. Oh, and now he's being focused after getting that hit.
He's got his smoke up though, just coming in time. The Bismarck, however, is down to 5k.
Is the Kutuzov eating torps? He's torpedo beating them, I think. He's torpedo beating them. That's nice.
The fact is, the Bismarck is down to 3k and the Kutuzov is continuing to try and light him up. We don't have sight on it because we don't have planes, and the Benson that is in the north is in smoke of his own. In terms of the center right now,
it's a disaster.
Flanking Everson Atago. He's trying to go around. He's trying to get Alpha.
Yeah, he's going for basically what we spoke about. But this is the kind of tactic that only works if there's no carrier, because now he can just get spotted and.
Yeah, and Bridgesand is trying to push up.
But he might kill Count Mordek. Count Mordek is like 800 HP, and he did get some volleys in the air towards him.
That is true, but Olsen's going to do a torp wave, and I'm guessing Mahatny is going to torp as well. But he's lit up. 4 ships can fire on this Benson.
Yeah, he still has smoke active.
His speed, but he's already taken half
did he stop gliding? He did stop gliding out of the smoke. Oh, but those torps. I think one is going to connect with the North Carolina at least. Oh, and the Benson is going to hit torps. The Benson is dead. The Benson is 100% dead. And even the North Carolina hit torp. Wow. That was a slaughter?
It just fell apart, right? Yeah.
Right. And chat, for those wondering what happened there, basically I have my mute button on Ö, which is a button that I don't really use when speaking English. But because Kantti, the Finnish guy, PM'd me, I spoke to him in Finnish, and I used the letter, and I muted my mic.
So it's not a huge number of plane kills for either carrier, but Ridgesan got a ton of kills, 31, in the center of the map. But that's all he did. He just sat there. I mean, it didn't feel like he was doing much. He didn't move until right at the very end, and then he got torped and shot at.
Yeah, honestly, I felt like ASEET didn't really have a game plan for this map.
Well, map 3, guys, is going to be Trident. Both teams know Trident's coming up. It's the de facto 3rd map, so it's not like it's going to be a surprise. I'm not sure who's going to host the 3rd map, and they theoretically can take another 10-minute
Indeed. And this time I'm going to check if my mic is muted or not before the game starts.
So here's the thing, if you're It's like if you're pay to win, you were taking the longer break before, so you narrowly won the first game, very narrowly. And to be honest, that was probably ASEET's game to lose, and they lost it.
Indeed.
So it's fair enough. But in the second one, pay to win. Maybe they're thinking there wasn't going to be carry, changed their setup a little bit. Surprised by an enemy carry, enemy team, but they absolutely crushed them. There wasn't even like a whiff of a chance coming from the ASEET guys. So. Maybe now, this 10 minutes, the seat sits down and thinks, right, what are we doing and how are we going to do Trident? Like, what is going on here? Do we bring a radar ship or something? Because in the central island, it's perfect for radar ship with anti-air. Maybe a New Orleans would be really good.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like they had a fairly good plan of action for Islands of Ice. I mean, based on their fleet movements, they were very concise. They went to B, then they spotted some at A, they went to A, and then they regrouped and they pushed back down into B. They had this coordinated, consistent fleet movement, but on the previous map, it was a disaster. They kind of took it was C, but they didn't really hold it, and then they stopped at B, but they didn't really push into B proper. They just sat outside of it, and it was just honestly just a disaster.
The chat. No, I'm just reading the chat one as they're just catching up with the planes flying into the center. So it's a bit of a fail. Okay, so yeah, so with the back to Trident, right? I mean, do you favor the north or the south here in any particular format?
Trident, north or south? I mean, it's still. I feel I don't honestly know. I feel like both sides offer such good cover. That's the thing. It's more about how you actually use it.
I think for me personally, I would go with the south. It's the island between the A and B, which you can go between on both sides.
Yeah.
When you get in there, there's another island slightly beneath it. So you've got two passageways as you go in towards the western approach. So you can get in there safely and choose to go slightly further north and then hit the central island, or go slightly further south behind the bigger island. And it's an easier approach to then kind of ease your way into the western flank and get alpha, but it also allows you to easily more flank to go around the island and double back on Bravo, where it's not as easy for the north to do that when they go south. So when I'm playing, for example, ships like the Flint, it's definitely, at least for me, more preferential to be from the south, and it's harder to be seen on a flank, because if you're the northern team, you have to go much further round to see someone in the south. Yet if you're coming from the north, you can be seen much more easily from the extreme eastern flank if you're going behind that island, which kind of dominates the two capture points.
Indeed. Oh god. The worst part about being muted with a 50-minute delayed stream, that I literally have to endure 15 minutes of my chat highlighting me and telling me I'm muted.
So did you mute just your mic? And
I muted it on. No, you did hear. Like, of course, you hear me on TeamSpeak, so you heard. But I muted it. I muted it on OBS. So basically, my stream only heard you.
Nothing. It's just like 1910s, silent movie treatment. Is that
exactly. Well, they did hear you. They just didn't hear me, and they did hear the in-game sounds. I just muted my mic.
Solo stream then, is that it? Okay.
Yeah, well, basically it was my visual feature voice on my stream for a good 15 minutes.
Oh, we're still waiting for the room to go up. I guess both teams are taking their 10-minute break, trying to frantically patch what they're going to do, how they're going to do it.
Flamu seems to be muted.
Really?
You're 15 minutes behind, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, you do realize we have a huge delay. We are aware of the issue.
You left, yeah, so. Now, the thing is, given the carrier performance, it didn't feel like... What was the sight like from ASEET in that game? Was it good? Did they have sight all the time? Or do you think the carrier suffered somewhat?
I feel like the carrier was... I didn't think he was used to playing Clan Wars. There were issues with scouting, and there were huge issues with target selection. I mean, straight up flying into Kutuzov's, and for some reason I don't understand why he left the DD solo. I thought he would harass that DD who kept going solo to what was kept C. Is it C that's north on that map? For some reason he didn't harass him. Like, I would have expected him to be there to force him to use defensive AA and then come back and strike him later. Basically, constantly harass him, spot him, not allow him to cap that point for free. But I felt like the Benson just got away with it. Something he shouldn't have been able to get away with.
And is up.
Roger. Portugal team in chat, Flamu.
Not seeing a carrier on your team.
Oh, I think they're going back to basics here. Well, I have to say, their play was much better when they didn't attempt to use a carrier.
So we have 2 North Carolinas, as last time, with a Bismarck, as last time, same battleship composition. 2 Bensons, again, same composition. We have 2 Atagos, 1 Mikhail Kutuzov, and was it a Chapayev? Yes, a Chapayev. So they're going with the radar for the Chapayev and then the cruisers. So I can see they're going with 4 smoke givers, 1 radar anti-air, and then the Atago can have an additional stealth torpor. Can you poke? Oh, never mind. I think that's them beginning to recognize.
Indeed. I think Gus Manis is one of them, yes. My chat is catching up to the point where I realized that was muted. The amount of potatoes being spammed in chat. Oh my god. Oh god, it's literally a wall of potatoes.
I don't want strikers. What? So, I'm going to talk very briefly about dirty tactics, okay?
Roger.
Hypothetically speaking...
Did Gusman just join and leave?
Yes, this is my point.
That's not allowed. I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, he comes in, assuming he's part of their team. He sees they're not playing a carrier. He tells their Chicago player, they're not playing a carrier.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's not actually allowed. I think it's in the rules that if you commit to a training room, you're not allowed to leave it.
But here's the other thing, right? Even if Gus didn't leave the room, if he joins first and there's like a 30-second, 60-second delay, who's to say he doesn't tell his team on TeamSpeak what the composition is?
Exactly. I mean, but that's of course one of the weaknesses of running this no carrier tactic. I mean, how exactly do you counter that? Have them all join at exactly the same time?
Well, there are really other anal ways to go about it.
Exactly.
Basically, you have 2 referees that create 2 separate training rooms. The 2 teams go into said training rooms. You make a recording of what their teams are. Then you come out and you join the 3rd training room, and that's...
but how do you make sure what spec the Shokaka, for example, is running?
You can.
Exactly.
Anyway, they're coming in now. I mean, this is only speculation.
Of course, you can't really accuse anyone of anything, but as far as I understood, it's not, you're not allowed to join the training room and then leave it. But if you join, you have to commit. Is FTD now?
Pretty quick. Yes.
What's up?
Did the second game end already?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Did Wargaming Pay to Win the game?
Oh, that's spoilers, but yes.
Okay, well, that's spoilers, but it has to be replayed then. Because
Why?
the impact of your planes in the beginning was too big.
Oh.
It is. We cannot let this happen. It is like the ammunition
Dude, it
of
was
the
a
fight
bug.
is a solo. Yeah,
It's true, but he has a point. It did affect the game, but I mean, wow, that's a pretty huge hit for
We're gonna play Trident. You might want to talk to the leaders and say we have to replay the previous one. Yeah, I think that's going to cause a bit of a storm.
Indeed.
Maybe it does, but it is just, what can I say?
I understand. I mean, I understand perfectly.
I would say it's a bug in the game. It can happen. Deal with it and move on.
But I mean, it did affect ASEET. First of all, they got spotted. They wouldn't have gotten spotted otherwise.
And they could not take the spots away for a certain amount of time.
Indeed.
I was watching it very closely, and it is like a very, very dicey situation here.
I know, but I mean, either way, I don't know. I mean, you're the organizer. It's your cup, so of course you decide.
Look, because we're now talking public to the wider world. Hello,
Yes.
wider world, as we talk about internal here. But my point of view is quite simply, if it was in the rules beforehand, that if some extraneous influence from the observer happens, then it needs to be called, and so be it. However, if you're making this rule up now, just because it happened now, then changing mid-rules, mid-tournament is very bad form.
That is a good point.
It has not been stated before, but I think the impact on the game was huge, and we've never considered that this could have happened. I'm just gonna ask ASEET right now what they think about it.
Well, they are about to start the game right now, so they're unlikely they can answer.
Start the game, and we're going to talk after that. Sorry for interrupting the stream, but that
No, I understand your point, but I mean, well, this is going to be a shitstorm either way you go about it. It's really that simple.
Yeah, but at least have to talk with them about it. I cannot just let it go like this, because if they see it on stream, it's
if they
gonna be
want,
like,
ask
what the
them
fuck
if they
happened?
want to do a replay and that type of stuff. Like,
Exactly.
You go deal with it and let me and Flamu stream this, alright?
Exactly. Let us basically, because we have no impact on what the decision is, so.
FTD is such a drama queen coming in here just wanting to listen to his own voice. That's why he's here, just so he can listen to his own voice in the stream.
But yeah, basically, he'll decide with the teams and then they'll let us know. Because we're just the casters, we don't make these decisions, so we'll just cast either way it goes. It will obviously be down a lot to what the teams want as well. If ASEET consider it not a big impact, then they might not request the replay at all. If they do want the replay, I can't really blame them either. So, I mean, it's a bit of a shitstorm, really.
Alright, anyway, let's focus on this game right here, okay? So, in terms of setup, one team with carrier, one team without carrier. The difference being an extra Chapayev. So, you got a Tago for a Kutuzov and a Chapayev instead of the Shukaku. Now, that Chapayev needs to get in a position where his radar can be effective without being sniped, as we saw yesterday when the Omni guys absolutely crushed Nab's radar cruiser who pushed up to kind of the center. He was coming from the south again.
Indeed. It seems like Wargaming Pay to Win are keeping their tried and tested exactly same lineup every game, and I can kind of respect that. I mean, why mess with something that works?
Well, it nearly worked is the key word here. They still had it lost in the previous one.
Wargaming you? No, they didn't.
No. Pay to Win nearly. Yeah, no. So Pay to Win hasn't really changed their setup.
No.
However, it's ASEET that, you know, they nearly lost their first game. Well, sorry, they did lose the first game, but they nearly won it. What I'm trying to say is that you're saying stick to what they know, and I'm saying, well, what they know.
No, I meant I can respect Wargaming's decision to keep the constantly same setup.
Wow.
Not ASEET setup. I'm talking of Wargaming Pay to Win. I feel like they are sticking to the same setup, and I feel like why mess with something that clearly works? They've been sticking to the double Kutuzov, double Benson setup all the time, and it seems to be working just fine.
Okay, well, this time the planes aren't flying off to the center, so good job, planes. Alright, so now we can see that Benson is spotted and bombers are on him in the center.
Yeah, they're instantly being focused. But his AA is so strong. He's not having much issues with the planes at all.
Who's helping him out? Is that the long-range Kutuzov fire from Nomus?
It might be North Carolina as well. I think it was hugely his own though. There's two North Carolinas behind him that might have helped.
In carrier setup, in that the carrier's gone back to 3-1-2.
Okay, well then it's pretty obvious that they didn't call that he was not running a carrier.
The obvious advantage would you go strike, yes.
Exactly. So it's pretty obvious that all our speculation was basically for naught.
Well, the Alpha Cap, however, is going through for Pay to Win.
Yeah, and ASEET is taking C pretty much uncontested. I mean, the Benson is spotted.
There are 3 ships ready to fire on him. One Benson Kudos in North Carolina. Right, he is spotted now. Whether or not a shot can hit him is the question.
How is it looking in the smoke south of C? Because you got 4 waves of torps coming into that smoke.
There are 3 ships. We see the torps now. With good positioning. Oh, it's a good cross torp.
Yeah, it's a lot of torps coming in there. That's what I meant. Both the Atago and the Benson torped it.
So, North Carolina is probably going to take one from the first wave.
Oh, it ran out?
Ran out.
And then the Atago wave is probably going to run out as well.
Kutuzov's going to take one on the nose, I think.
Ran out as well?
Ran out. My goodness. We're talking millimeters here from a miss. Now,
Benson torps though.
Kutuzov makes a dodge, and North Carolina makes a dodge.
Wow! Well, they are taking... they took C, and they seem to be taking B as well.
There's a strong push from Pay to Win in terms of Benson, Bismarck, Atago, and also a follow-up Kutuzov that are beating on Beaverus.
Oh, Beaverus is so open. He's got no...
Yeah.
What? He's got to get closer. He's going to have to get broadside. He did launch torps into the smoke though.
He's ramming forward as quick as he can. He's trying not to beat.
Oh, a good hit on the Benson though. Really good hit on the Benson from Beavers. That must have been Chapayev radar that was spotting the Benson.
And check the Bismarck pushing into Bravo. He has no support, smoke support. Chapayev's with him, and the Atago's falling up from behind.
Well, there's a Benson behind him, so they can be smoked up at any point, I feel.
See, what I don't like is J&J K92. He's keeping himself out of sight, but the rest of his team's pushed up and is in sight. Now, I guess he could be sort of like a long-range flank support if the General Olsen and the Bismarck from the A cap point moves up.
The Benson is smoking them up in B now. They've secured both C and B.
Everson's been spotted as well. So the 4 ships that are south of Charlie, they all see Everson. And actually there's torps coming in from the Benson as well as a distance, so they've lost sight.
These Atagos are playing very aggressively with this. They want to use the torps, but this Everson is going to get broadside now.
Broadside on and on, Cal shots.
Oh, that's what you get when you show broadside in a bit. Oh my god, it's going to die. Oh, 8k HP left.
Beginning to, and that's the strength of the attack.
Yeah, well, he can't heal all of it. He can heal a part.
He can't heal all of it, but
I mean,
still, reckless gameplay. But if you're going solo,
yeah, that's honestly a bit too nuts, especially when he was spotted.
Were in that smoke, so why go there in the first place?
I mean, if you use all 5 heals on Atago, you got like the health potential of something like 65,000 damage. He just lost every advantage the Atago has, and he'll only be able to heal up to like max 30k, if even that. So. Yeah, that was a huge blow to him.
Pay to win team. Oh, what? The torps in the center. The Enkel from Guzmanis is actually taking his head to 26k. He's out of his smoke field right now. And
why is he out of his smoke?
Well, his smoke is now dissipated.
And he's pushing up. He's completely in the open.
20k and 1 fire, and he's burning. This is he's going down.
Kingpin ate a torp as well.
Because he's been fired by smoke from the Bravo ships.
Oh lord, and he's got Citadel. And the Kutuzov is in the open, and the North Carolina.
So the Benson, the Kutuzov smoke. Now the Kutuzov is just smoked up.
Yeah, but why is the Kutuzov moving to smoke up the North Carolina? The Kutuzov is sitting still. Oh my lord.
Trying to get the kill on Everson and his Atago, and there's also the Kutuzov behind him.
Yeah, he's moving for the North Carolina, but if they get a fire in the North Carolina, he ate a torp earlier, so he's probably used his repair. Okay, he did get smoked up in time. No HE fires.
It's the Chapayevs in the long-range kind of flanking fire, which he is partially trying to be torped by General Olsen and his Benson. He's trying to get a kind of a torp wave in. It could theoretically happen, and the push that was happening is turned back around and they're rotating around to get a southern flank.
Yeah, I mean, what are they going to do now though? Because ASEET has such a firm hold of this map now. They have full control of C and B, and they have such a good position on B as well. And they have this Chapayev nestled into the island at B, so any sort of push can be radared. Oh.
Yes. Now the torps are coming in, and I think they're going to avoid the torps by reversing, although and Bismarck are bumping into each other, but it's still going to be...
No, I think they're going to make it just in time. Just.
You've got a reasonable strong force of 3 ships on the east side for pay to win. Theoretically speaking, they could push up. I mean, they're getting torped regardless by the Benson, so why not get torped when you're inside the Charlie cap?
Yeah, why is Everson like being so aggressive on this flank though?
The Encal just from Kingpin just took another hit. He's down to 18k.
Yeah, but why is Everson still being so aggressive on this side? He just saw what happened the last time he tried to push this side. They have a huge lead. They have a 200-point lead. There's literally no point to push.
They see him as well. They see the Everson.
Of course, they have this plane sitting there, just waiting for him to push again.
How's the sight for Skeet on outside?
Oh, they do have vision of the people south of A, but that's pretty much it. Oh, they spotted Gallagher now. Oh, they shot down the plane. That's a spotting plane gone. Gallagher is taking on Buzzlight. Some huge hits on Buzzlight from the Kutuzov, I assume. I don't know, like what are they going to do to push into this? They need to make something happen. I was hoping for something like UFR-esque, where they push for A to flank B, so they attack B from both sides.
The team's separated, but actually more team is drifting now. That is the pay-to-win team is drifting south of Bravo. They could now make the push into Bravo. I mean, they've got a smoke screen.
Oh, look, that was radar. They activated radar. Chapayev used radar. Yeah, Benson is spotted as well. Benson taking very low. Benson might even die.
Oh, check the Citadel and J&K. I don't know who got a hit on them, but it could have been flanking fire from the... No, it wasn't Kingpin. It must have been the Bismarck.
Radar ran out. But J&K is taking huge hits.
I can see the torp wave coming in. It's currently on track to hit the Bismarck. He needs to haul his backside. His sonar, however, has detected that because that's quite a long way away.
Oh, is Conti the Bismarck? The Bismarck is going to eat the torp, I think. So might the Chapaev. Depends on how far those Benson torps will reach.
It was fairly close.
Oh, Chapaev is going to eat 2 torps. I think Chapaev is dead. Chapaev is dead. That's a huge loss. That was a bit unnecessary. They spotted the torp so early. He should have been able to reverse out earlier.
Oh, the torp waving coming on the south of Charlie. Hits the Kutuzov. He's down to 2nd hit.
Oh, wow.
Goes down. And the Enkel might go down. Oh no.
The Everson, his continuous pushes on this side finally got punished.
Enkel on the south of Charlie was on 11k and he was about to take.
Look where Everson died. Why did he push this flank when they had such an advantage?
Again?
Yeah, he pushed it again and he got deleted. Like, they have a lead. Why do they keep pushing in? All they need to do is sit and hold. He got impatient for some reason and gave up such a huge lead by continually pushing in.
Is 827. Is he burning or flooding, or is he just stationary now?
He's burning, I think. Yeah, he's burning. He's dead.
Oh, but he's repairing now.
No, he's healing, not repairing.
Healing,
The burning is still activated.
The
Is he
Otago
spotted?
can be seen as well. Yeah, the all 3 ships there on the north side of B can be seen. The Bismarck, Enkel, and Otago.
Oh, Bismarck is spotted.
From Count Mordic is actually moving up really aggressively. He's only 5 kilometers away now. Kutuzov ran the corner for the very low health North Carolina, but the Carolina's like.
North Carolina has his guns aimed that way though. If he manages to sit at other Kutuzov.
He's just popping his smoke right now.
Oh!
He's going to take a shot. No damage.
JNK is down to 1.5k. He's guaranteed died. This was actually a really good play by the Kutuzov.
Kutuzov's down to half health.
Kutuzov should be using AP.
402 health. He can have another value. He's still doing HE. There you go. He gets him.
Indeed.
Smoke definitely saved his bacon there.
ASEET are giving this game away, it feels like. Those pushes down the side of C have been horrible for them. I don't know why these cruisers keep doing this.
Well, they still have the extra cap point. However, another torp wave incoming on the south of Charlie. This time is also going to be dodged. The smoke has ended, but there's no second smoke now for the south side. If I'm them, I push up. I just attack into his Charlie.
He's being North Carolina is being focused by the Kutuzov there. Can you even see the Kutuzov?
Yeah, we can see the Kutuzov. I'll see if he's got a firing angle on him.
Yeah, the Kutuzov is shooting above the island to hit the North Carolina. It's actually quite clever use of the terrain.
2 fires.
Does he have a repair still?
You can't get a return thing because the island's just too awkward. Well, I say that, maybe.
Oh, Torp's going into B.
He's just repaired right now, so the Enkel's from Kingpin's put the 3 fires out. And they know that, he's down to 7.5k.
Torps aren't going to hit anything.
He's reversing. The Benson's hauling his backside, trying to give smoke to Kingpin.
Does he have any fires he can't repair yet?
No, the repair's about to expire.
Good timing on the smoke. So he does survive still.
Still gonna hit if he doesn't take a fire here. 1 fire. He's on 6k health.
Does he have a heal? That's the question. If he can heal, he can counter it.
He doesn't have a repair, so he'll take the full fire damage.
But the question is if he can actually heal it.
3,200 and ticking down. In terms of the rest of the team, the pay-to-win team is actually not pushing into Bravo from the south. There's now rotating round Alpha again. Encal from Kingpin down to 1,200. He's going to burn out. At this rate, he's gone.
Wow.
480. Lucky fire from the Kutuzov. 1 shell hit. That's the
wow.
there.
All they needed.
Now the Bismarck is pushing up.
Oh, Conti! Is he going to hit? Now he's going to dodge them. But I think the Benson, Martimoker, he's going to eat the Torp. He's going to eat the Benson Torp, I think. Oh! He dodges it. And he's going to dodge the next one if he just goes straight. Yeah, he barely dodged them.
The Yoshi EU from Pay to Win is broadsiding the Canty Bismarck as well. And he sees him and he's done the shot. But the thing is, he's going straight into the Encal as well.
They need to make their play now. 940 points. They need to make their play. They don't have many seconds left. They need a kill. The smoke is fading at B. The smoke is fading at B.
You need to get into the B cap or get into the C cap. Oh, Benson Buzzlight is 6 kilometers away from Yoshi.
Yeah, but he's popping his smoke now. Smoking up the North Carolina.
Sonar. He'll see him. It's 5 point. ship detection range is 5.58 kilometers, so he can see the Benson if he pops the sonar for the Bismarck.
Yeah, but the Benson is fleeing now, and I don't think the Bismarck can keep up.
True. He needs to, so they've stalled the cap.
Oh, the Kutuzov is gonna hit Torps, I think. Oh, is he gonna hit the Torp?
They
Count
just
Mordek.
not die in Charlie, and equally they see the counter push that's coming in from the other side on the Bravo. They need to really push here and just
976. Look at Atago's push. If Atago manages to kill the enemy Atago, they might still make it.
That is true, but the fact is all they need to do is get into B without dying and stall the points.
Oh, they won't gain any more points if they're in B.
Exactly. So
Oh, but the counter Torps, the zoning Torps from Beavers. Are they gonna hit Felix?
well, it's going to take at least one with the nose.
No, he's dodging. Nope, he took one.
Yep, took one torp with the nose, and he's also taking flanking fire for the North Carolina and the other Benson.
But he is holding up the points at 991.
He stopped the thing, but he just can't die now, and the problem is the other ships.
Benson Torps coming in. He can't trade though, because trading with Bismarck isn't enough, because if Felix dies, they win.
He can kill the Atago, and you should be firing on the Atago. That's a fair trade. Kills the Atago, it's okay.
The other Atago made it into the cap now. If he kills the Atago... Oh, nicely done. They already said GG. General Olsen already said GG.
Okay, so that's still practice super close. The
Indeed.
Bismarck has been chased out. On the other side,
Kutuzov glided out of his own smoke. Kutuzov...
5k, he's gonna die. 3k? 2k?
Oh no.
Bismarck's down to 6.8k. If he gets this kill, it pulls it back again. It can be a fair trade, again, but...
No, he's gonna die. North Carolina's gonna die. Kutuzov, is he getting back into his own
He
smoke?
doesn't see him anymore. They're blind. No, he's dead. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the...
Kutuzov is getting back into his own smoke as well, so he's gonna be able to capture B. Oh no, Bismarck activated Hydro! Bismarck popped Hydro!
Flanking fire on Canty, so Yoshi now sees Canty and he can get broadside.
But he killed the Benson! Oh, he got Torps. Huge Torps from the Benson.
Big torp wave going to the Bismarck. Do you see that towards
Yeah,
Canty?
yeah, but the Benson just released it.
I don't think he can reverse in time. He's stuck. He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
4 hits. And the capture point just went through on the the Bravo side. Here comes the torps. That's it.
Oh,
no,
but the Bismarck is dying as well.
174 burning. Now that's
3 versus 3!
926. Kutuzov is chasing down the Benson on Charlie, but they have no sight. It's 3 people. What do you see?
Well, we have vision of nothing except the Kutuzov. And the Benson is torping the Kutuzov. The Benson is landing... Oh, the Benson launched the torps too close to the island, I think.
So pay to win.
No, he launched too close to the island! But this might still hit 2 torps. Oh, the Kutuzov is gonna hit at least 1. Maybe 2! If he hits 2, he's dead. Oh!
No, 1,000. He's alive. Is it enough points though?
No!
It's 50. It's not enough points.
960, they need to kill... Well,
Shikaku needs to stay away.
Shikaku is spotted. We see the Shikaku.
And there's only a single Benson now. And the fact is, it's 718 points, 3 minutes to go. Nankan math tells me that they can make...
Yeah, and they're capping C, and they are capping A now. So they're stopping, they will be gaining points very soon. Wow, these guys are so hyped and everything, and soon FTD is gonna hit them with their rematch bomb. Oh my lord. They're actually gonna take this, I think, unless...
Well, if you're Gallagher, go A, chase after the enemy destroyer, go for the kill. That's probably the only thing...
Where is Gallagher right now?
Gallagher is currently in Bravo. He knows the destroyer's in Alpha, right? That at least one of the destroyers is in Alpha. Now, the Kame carrier, he's moving up to B. He should also go into Alpha and just be an extra damage sponge, an extra sight. He's completely out of planes, though. There's nothing taking off, and this is criminal.
Oh, but they have vision of Gallagher all of a sudden. Oh, he shot that C.
Open fire. Yeah, he's open fire, trying to reset the cap on Charlie. But look, the carrier has no planes. How can you be out of planes when the enemy team doesn't have a carrier? You always keep planes in the A envelope. He can't spot.
How did he waste all his planes on a no carrier enemy?
He just can't spot. So A is going through, which means the points are going to start ticking again.
Indeed. ASEET is gonna take this, I think. There's nothing can stop them. The Benson is playing together with the Kutuzov, so they can 2 versus 1 this enemy Benson. They are grouping up.
Gallagher's pushing back to Charlie, but even if he keeps the Charlie cap from going through, it's 1-1, and it means that the advantage is in the favor of the higher point team.
Indeed. They're 979. They're ticking. They can't stop the cap at.
No, they can't stop the tick now. You can only stall one.
He's going YOLO. He's going YOLO, I think.
Yep. Ooh, destroy. Okay.
Yeah, but the Kutuzov is here to back him up.
That's true. Torps. Has he got Torps here?
And, oh wow. 994. Wow, ASEET is going to take this. What an amazing game.
Wow, 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 wow. Okay,
wow.
So we need to find out what's happening next.
Indeed, we need to find out what's the deal. Because if nothing is replayed, then Wargaming Pay to Win wins 2-1. But if it is being replayed, then it's 1-1, and that second map is being replayed.
So, and we're looking at playing kills here. North Carolina from Bridgestone gets 22 kills. The next one is Kutuzov Nomis with 20 kills. Then it's 12 in the NCAL, 11 in the Chapayev, and 5 in the Tago, 12 in the NCAL, 7 in the Bismarck. Right, see, I get it. They got playing kills. But the inability to see is criminal because the Destroyer, if he has any smokes left, can have sight from a plane. Even one dive bomber playing at maximum range is enough.
I don't... Honestly, there was some really question... First of all, I don't understand how this carrier, this Kamikaze, can run out of planes against a no-CV opponent. And Everson, his Atago plays were really questionable as well. Pushing out of that side of the map was just insane, I think. But the question now is that game being remade or not? We'll have to wait for FTD, I guess.
Gonna win TeamSpeak. I'm poking him. We'll see what he
Indeed.
says.
Let's see if he'll pop in here and let us know.
Well, while we're waiting for the reply, on stream what's coming up next. He doesn't know yet. I guess he's going to go talk to them now. So while we're watching that, I'll show you guys what's coming up next.
Oh, might as well. You showing up next week's games?
Yes.
Might as well show off some of that stuff as well. See.
But we have, they're not listed in dates, but these are the games that are coming up next. So Pay to Win is going to play Oda Mortis. Kaiserlich Marine is going to play Portugal Sailors. It also kind of depends if all the teams that had no shows turn up and have their games and all that type of stuff. So Alliance is going to play Omni. That was who were played quite strong yesterday. NAB, who play against Omni, will play against Wargames Germany.
That page isn't even loading for me. I'm trying to show it, but Oda Mortis is overloaded, I think.
I got a graphic. Tora is going to play Guys Who Dated Your Sister. Portugal, who were a no-show last time with numbers, they're going to play Capper Commando. Art of Warfare versus Kraken. Duffy Ducks versus Capper Commando International. Tan Extreme, who we were going to do today, I think they got a bye, and then Bloodcats versus Night Raid. So there you go. Not sure who will be streaming next week, but we'll have a more accurate listing of what streamers are playing what games on the Sunday for the weekend, and then we'll get ready for the following week. And I think we have 5 weeks worth of rounds because of the number of teams we have, and everyone having to play everyone at least once.
Finally working.
And then we go into semi-finals and whatnot. So bear with us, guys. Normally we would end the streaming here, and then we would talk about what's coming up next week, as we're doing right now. But we're waiting for FTB's reply to see whether or not we are indeed replaying the second round.
So interesting. So it's the German Oda Mortis that's playing Wargaming next. And ASEET is against UFR that beat KLM. They beat KLM, right? Where is UFR? UFR, where are you?
Anything on the list of matches that kind of strikes your attention?
Well... No, yeah, alright, UFR lost one game. Actually, really close games. Group A, like, the other groups, for example, Group B has just been 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. And so is Group C, and it wouldn't surprise me if Group D was similar. But Group A seems...
So,
Sorry?
yeah, see, well, the KLM and the UFR game on Group A was really, really close. So, I mean, it'd be really interesting to see how ASEET plays against UFR, and then how Wargaming Pay to Win, who I think... I'm going to say are the slightly stronger team here today.
Yeah, I mean, well, they won 2-1 for a good reason.
And theoretically, they probably should have. They did a good turnaround on the last game there, and they probably should have got it with some clutch play. I mean, they should have probably got it, but it was, yeah.
Oh, round 3 on Group A might be interesting. Odem Mortis versus Kaiserliche Marine. They're both German clans. That might be some rivalries going on there. Interesting. Oh, Odem Mortis International is playing ALN next week.
Do you know ALN? Anything about the Alliance people?
Oh, well, they were the ones who were drama queens and with the whole casting issue.
We were supposed to be casting other games, guys, but some people didn't want us to cast for...
Because we would steal their tactics.
Or some nonsense.
Yeah, that's what we're here to do, to steal the tactics.
Outreach game when you don't want people to see your game. It's like,
Indeed.
Whatever. I have been immune from all this drama. I just go to the games they tell me to go to and I cast them. Job done. That's it.
Yeah, it's a bit silly, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that went wrong today was the bugged planes. So we're still waiting on FTD his decision, or he's probably asking the teams whether or not they want to replay. So, yeah, stay with us because we might have a game or we might not. You know, I wouldn't question you if you wanted to disappear and watch the VODs later. But you know, stay
Indeed.
tuned.
Well, has FTD answered?
No. I've asked him, are we replaying second game? And he says, I don't know. So we're waiting on his feedback. Was my last message. And I've also told them on Skype, so we will have to be patient.
Indeed. Well, not much we can do except wait in that case. The one thing I did notice from these games was that whenever ASEET plays without a carrier, they seem significantly stronger and like they have a game plan, and they seem to know exactly what they want to do and where they want to go. But then when they try to mix in a carrier, it's just a disaster.
Do you know how big their fleet is? How many people they have?
I don't know.
But could it just be that they don't have a really good carrier player, like, you know,
Yeah.
top notch?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's possible they might not have a dedicated carrier player. Because the thing with carrier play is that you kind of have to play it all the time to like keep the mechanics working and keep them fluid and so forth. Like for me, even just taking a break from carrier play makes me very rusty and makes me miss drops I usually know I wouldn't miss and so forth.
I mean, by top tier, we're talking like a carrier who, if he sees an enemy destroyer that doesn't have defensive fire, he's got two torpedo waves. It's a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, exactly. There's no question about it. It's just a deletion.
Yeah. So I know Omni's in front of you. They have about 5 carrier players who would be considered kind of pretty good, so maybe 2 or 3 who are like really good. I don't know about other fleets though. It's just the reason I know the Omni ones because that's the fleet I'm in. So I like beating up the other carriers and watching them cry in ranked play.
Oh god, triggered Omni members in chat incoming.
Right.
Now it would be nice to hear something from FTD. Should check TeamSpeak. Is he like talking to someone in their channel?
I don't know. Why don't you, if you want to jump around and do it and find them maybe.
Oh god. I jump in there and there's full on German ranting going on. Okay, well, looking at the TeamSpeak, FTD is in a channel with both Kanti from ASEET and...
Okay, the game is going to be replayed. There's no drama whatsoever. Both teams are completely fine with it.
Okay, well that's good to hear. So both teams are perfectly.
So good job, FTD. Yeah, good work.
Indeed. So game 2 where I was muted doesn't count. Woohoo!
We did it. And it never happened.
Yes, never happened.
I'll just read my stream now.
So now when people ask, were you actually muted for a game? I can just say no. Sorry, I was unmuted for all 3 official games. Perfect. So, people, it's still 1-1, and 3rd deciding map incoming. Ding, ding, ding. I don't mind at all because these 2 teams have been quite entertaining to watch.
Because there's a 15-minute delay, tell your chat that there will be a game so they don't disappear.
Indeed.
We had uncertainty. All right. Waiting for the game to be hosted, and we get a 4th game. Isn't that a privilege with this team? Because they play really well, and they got crushed. You know, the ASEET guys got crushed in this round. Are they going to mix it up? Are they going to go with the carrier? Are they going to ditch the carrier? Are they going to change their setup? Are they going to play as passively as they did last time?
Yeah, I mean, they must notice now that something wasn't working. Do you think they will play with the carrier? I mean, are they allowed to even change their setup then?
I don't know. We weren't there with the meeting.
Exactly.
So who's to say, you know?
it's possible that they aren't allowed to change any of their ships around, because it would be a bit... I mean, because then it would be an advantage for them, because basically they got to try a tactic, didn't work, and now they get to replay without one, so... Just so you know, on your stream when you speak, Farah is still very quiet.
I would say they've had more than 10 minutes break, but maybe they have to tell their players, don't go away, come back. You know, we're still playing the second round.
Indeed.
So maybe they need a bit of time. But yep, we're just waiting here patiently now for the game to be hosted. As soon as it's hosted, we'll show you the team setup.
I'm just
to be honest, if ASEET doesn't go no carrier and just play the way they're doing on this round, I'll be disappointed. Because I want to see their strongest setup. Here we go, rerun rooms up.
Oh, let's go. Oh boy. So this is gonna be a game of games after all.
So let's reflect. It is no longer 1-0, 2-0. It is 1-1. So this is the deciding match. Here we go. And how much of the tactic, let me ask you this, right? See when the spawn starts, okay, and you're playing, how much is dictated by the tactic on the opening spawn locations? Like, do you have a plan to go AC or AB or BC depending on where the destroyers start and that type of stuff?
I don't know. I mean, of course, it's gonna have an impact, but it remains to be seen. Like, sometimes you might have these really set rigid tactics where the spawns won't affect them at all. But usually, those kind of... I mean, I would expect a less experienced team to have these very rigid set tactics, whereas a more experienced team would have like flexible options. Oh, you happen to spawn here, let's go here then. So we'll see. Poking him, about to run out of pokes. Well, of course they had people who probably went off right after the game, so now they have to bring them right back.
Yep, that's very true. That's very true. I mean, it's kind of unexpected, so I mean, if the guy is gone, we're just gonna have to sit here and chill for a bit.
Indeed.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello, excuse you, what's up?
The second game will be replayed. I don't
Yes.
know
Really?
Yes.
So we're in that waiting room when we're waiting for it to be played right now.
Yep. Set up the second game or replay the second game simply because the carrier was kind of decisive. Well, not decisive.
But yes, it did in fact. It did.
It had impact.
Exactly.
That's it. It had impact, and we tried to be as fair as possible. So.
That's understandable. And if both teams were okay with it, then we have no issues whatsoever.
Yeah, both teams were okay with it. ASEET wants to play, Work wants to play, and
WGP2W.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pay to win.
Yeah.
Is hosting the map, so keep an eye out for that.
Okay. Yeah, we're just waiting.
We will look for the training room and join it when we see it. Don't you worry.
Okay. Good luck, guys.
Cheers, mate. Wow. Oh, looks like everyone's joining. Yeah, that's the thing. If people are expecting us to like, we can give our own opinions on things, but ultimately that's all they will be, our opinions. We actually have no impact whatsoever on the cup besides casting them, because we quite enjoy the game and quite enjoy doing this.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, I'm on the end. I was far too lazy to join their team for the cup, and I find it far more entertaining to watch all the games rather than some of the
Indeed.
games. So I was like, yeah, I'll stream some of your stuff. Just really hope the bug doesn't happen this time. I mean, theoretically speaking, I could buy a whole show. I could get a short ship slot, buy a whole show, and then kill myself that way. But that's not. And then you're assuming that you get a flooding, and then you can land your planes, and it's a really awkward way.
Hoshin? Oh, what?
Give me ops cam, please.
Indeed. I mean, this current setup of always having to kill yourself, I mean, CVs aren't exactly bug-free. So I guess there's always some risk that the planes just decide to do whatever they want when you kill yourself, and that is, of course, an issue, which could be, well, the dream solution would be, of course...
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you quite fine.
Okay, you're roboting on me.
Oh, I can restart TeamSpeak if you want.
Give it a go. Yep, it's...
Whoa, this loaded very slowly.
Give us a shout.
Yeah, this is loading very slowly. My TeamSpeak took ages to connect.
It's still roboting. I don't know what's going on. Oh, wait. So, you still here?
Yeah. Is it better
Yeah,
now?
seems better. Well, I'm reading the chat while you're doing it. The rematch was agreed under the same ship setup.
Yeah, that's what that's exactly what I was expecting, because this way there's not really... Well, there's a slight advantage for ASEET, meaning they know that their tactic doesn't work. But if they had allowed them to switch ships, then they could have basically revised their entire tactic and their entire approach to the match. So that's why I was expecting that the admins would say that yes, A, there's a rematch, but B, you're not allowed to change your ships, because that would significantly impact the outcome and, well, decision making of the game. So pretty much exactly what I expected, and I think it's the fairest approach.
Yeah, you're still being a bit roboty, but we'll just have to deal with it. And the thing is, if I'm the carrier player that's on the Skeet side, I'm like, no, I don't want to. You can't make me.
Yeah, I mean, well, his last game wasn't exact. Well, in general, it was the only game he's been playing carrier, and he hasn't exactly been having a good time. Okay, let's see if ASEET are a bit more decisive this time, though.
It's not in a CV, so am I just being delusional here?
Wait, where did you read that they have to use the same ships?
Oh, maybe I'm being absolutely idiotic here. Let's scroll up the chat. No fairly
Changing ships to same. He says Conte.
Huh.
I'm just asking them. I don't see a CV for them.
Alright, that's it.
Okay, I don't know. Apparently they weren't supposed to use the same ships.
What do I know? I'm just a dumb streamer.
Yeah, because Conte just said changing ships to same, but they used the carrier the last time they played this map. Now they aren't using a carrier?
Yep. Alright, here we go.
Well, I'm just a streamer, I'm just a caster. I'll let the mods deal with this issue.
Okay, so here we go. It is Incal Bismarck versus the same.
Indeed.
We have a tag over against two enemy Katagos. Kutuzov. Ooh!
Ooh, double Kutuzov. Yeah, they have changed their setup a lot.
They don't have the radar ship anymore, and there's an extra Atago on the your team.
Yeah, they changed it quite a bit.
Because the carrier is one Atago, and then the other one was a radar ship, so now they've gone with another Atago. That's quite a big change.
Yeah, that's a completely different approach to this map then.
Alright, well, let's see how it works. It was an amazingly close game last time. It was an amazing close game in the first round.
Yeah, but this game last time was a complete face roll for Wargaming Pay to Win, so let's see if this new carrier setup will once again help them to a more closer game and a better match.
If you're Wargaming Pay to Win, surely they just have 3 Tirpitzes and Atagos and Kutuzovs and then Loyangs, right? I mean, if you're going to go with that name.
Yeah, of course. They're not being as pay to win as one might hope.
Yeah, you want to be pay to win, you go really pay to win.
They only have 3 pay-to-win ships. I'm disappointed.
Hey guys, so as usual, no observer camera. That would be the reason why we're replaying, because the planes had a bug. Give observer camera, please, now. Thank you. Even if it's an account that you're logged into that had the observer camera built into or something.
Yeah, I mean, imagine press account, some sort of tweaked press account, where all we can do is spectate games. I would be perfectly fine with just logging into that account every time. Right, let's see. This time they are going very decisively for C. In fact, ASEET is pushing in with the whole fleet towards C, it seems. And in fact, they're not even sending any stragglers down to scout A or B at all. They're just pushing full on into, well, it looks like C and grouping up near B.
Well, I just super nuked myself, and the planes are not going to the middle. Not going to the middle! Hooray.
Nice, nice! Well, that's a much better start than the last time, and I'm not muted.
Oh, well, here we go.
Here we go.
So the southern push is the same as last time from pay to win. Benson, Kutuzov, North Carolina, Bismarck. So it's not double NCAL, but that's maybe due to the spawn starting locations. So Kingpin and his NorCal is going north with the Kutuzov. Benson, single Atago. So they're splitting into 2 groups, going for the Alpha Charlie cap, and the Charlie cap is going. Was that first captured very early in the first time round?
Yeah, they went straight for C at the beginning last time as well, and Wargaming pay to win went straight for A as well. So in that way it's mirroring, but the positions of ASEET are completely different. Last time they grouped up near B. This time they are pushing into C with the force, and I feel like they're going to sweep into B with similar force and less indecisiveness this time, I assume. The boss knight has been spotted, but he's going to dodge the Targa shells and smoke up.
Yep, much more aggressive push into Charlie because they abandoned it and went back into the center last time. So the NCAL, Bismarck and Kutuzov with the destroyer at Charlie is a much stronger approach. And wait, what? The carrier's trying to send torpedo bombers against a Kutuzov and an NCAL? What?
Yeah, no. He even saw them.
The Germans have a word from that. It's Wahnsinn.
Yeah, double Kutuzov and North Carolina. What was he hoping to happen?
I don't know, man. Maybe he didn't like the pilots.
Living like literal kamikaze pilots. Why is he sending more planes this way? Did he not see what fate awaited the torpedo bombers the last time?
We see kind of torps coming in from the Benson, and now it is a 4-on-5. How many ships are up north in Charlie right now? For ASEET.
Well, they have 5. No, they have 6 ships at C, and they have 3 grouped up near B. But looks like the ships at B are also pushing into C. I feel like they are planning to blob up at C and then just blob their way and basically team fight. Yeah, team fight at B.
So the 4 ships in the south, they're not moving north aggressively enough. Now, the guys in the north, for the pay-to-win point of view, they saw 6 ships. They know 6 ships are there. They actually see both the destroyers. So by that reasoning, if you are the southern force of 4 ships, you push into Bravo as hard as you can. And honestly, if you're the carrier, you move up closer, so the flight time is reduced.
Indeed. Where is the carrier?
He's way down in Indigo 6-7 line. But he can be behind one of the islands. He can get closer in theory. But
of course.
Hold your bombers back. Hold the bombers back to the beginning. Don't try. If you see the opportunity, great.
Oh, how are the torps looking, by the way? This smoke? I feel like Kingpin or someone in that smoke might be hit.
The NCAL is actually moving away and the Kutuzov's moving away. And they won't be hit, but they will be pushed out of the smoke, so you might get sight.
Indeed. And they're pushing this time. Look, they're decisively hunting them. They're not letting them run away at all. I think they're going to chase them. Just like they did in map 1, where they decisively chased after the kills.
To flip and pay to win's point of view, and their ships are now getting up to maybe in range. However, if this northern force of ASEET keeps going around the corner, the southern force from pay to win will not have a point like a line of sight on them.
Yeah, but
kilometers away from the Kutuzov, the Bismarck secondaries are going to light on the Kutuzov.
Yeah, and the issue here is if they push into B, they're going to have the flanks of this entire force. They're going to be able to shoot the broadsides of this entire force. So if they don't abandon C in a hurry, they're going to get stuck here.
Benson smoke has kicked off. He saved the NCAL and Kutuzov. They're not taking hits anymore.
But they're still pushing in.
Yeah, they are, but the thing is they're losing the Bravo cap, so it's going to be 2-1 in terms of points, cap points that is, and the point lead will slowly go back in favor of pay to win again. And this is a very strong push that's continuing on, but unfortunately now we see that it's ASEET's team that's getting split up, and their northwestern force...
Oh, he's striking! Is he gonna strike Bismarck? Oh, he got a good drop-off on the Bismarck. He got a really good drop-off. There were no defensive AA to help him. The Bismarck is gonna eat multiple torps.
5, 6?
It's gonna be 5.
Away from the torps. Yeah.
Oh!
Check this, also, he's gonna bump into the NCAL, they're gonna kill each other speed over.
Oh no, and the torp! No, this is a disaster!
Another torp, and the NCAL is gonna drift into 3. Plus this fire damage from the Bismarck.
Oh my god, this is an absolute disaster for ASEET. Oh my god.
The NCAL gets crushed, and we also see that the force coming from the south side of B is flanking fire in J&J. He's getting really hard hit right now.
Yeah, and he's used his repair. He has to have used his repair, so any fires are gonna be disastrous.
And the Kutuzov was just too far behind. Maybe it didn't defensive fire, but with 2 Kutuzovs, and you get bombed.
I mean, the problem was this Kutuzov stopped at C for some reason, so he wasn't there to give defensive AA for these battleships, because he was afraid to push in because he was being shot from B.
They don't see the NCAL anymore, but they do see the Kutuzov, so he's going to be the main focus target for both teams, both kind of groups right now on B and south of B.
Yeah.
And what's the north side? What's the Atago?
They're kind of grouped here, but I don't feel like they're doing that much. Like their plan was, I think, to stop this B push or like harass it, but the B guys just stopped in the smoke, so they haven't really had vision of them, so they haven't really been able to do much at all.
Well, both destroyers are still up active for ASEET in this kind of southern Charlie push. And one torp might actually clip the backside. No, it runs out, so the torps are going to run it before they hit.
Yeah, I mean...
Smoke advantage is definitely in favor of...
But look at ASEET's positioning these guys at basically E8. How are they going to get anywhere? Anywhere they move, they're going to get shot from 2 different sides. They're going to get shot from the spawn and from B at the same time, no matter what they do.
Forward, they'll get flanking fire from the guys that are on the Bravo cap. And they don't need to move up and go into torps, because they've got 2 points, they're getting point lead, and they've also got a ship lead. It's all on ASEET to make a play here.
Yeah, they have to make the play, but how? Their positioning is so awkward, and their HP bars are half. Oh no.
No smoke support either. Now, one of the destroyers, I think, is actually moving back to the northernmost team of ASEET. Is that happening or not? Because that's my last team on the radar.
Yeah, well, the boss light is trying to go for B, but the carrier torp bombers are waiting for him. Oh dear.
He's got limited escape.
He's got no smoke either. He just used it to smoke up his teammates. He has no smoke. He's in the open with no escape. And he has no defensive AA.
Defensive, so that if the carrier's good, you'll hit him. Oh, he's faffing around in circles in the anti.
Yeah, he went too close to the North Carolina anti. But he should still... Why isn't he spotting the Benson permanently? Oh, he is with the fighter.
Yeah, he is with the fighter now.
Because this Benson has no escapes. He has no smoke. He's completely, well, screwed. Yeah, they're all focusing him now. Oh my god.
I mean, it's an easy kill. I mean, if... I thought maybe the Buzz Light might go over...
Guzmanis, though? He's giving a lot of broadside. Did he get citadels there? Because it looked like he gave full broadside to the battleships.
From the Cap Mordek? The Kutuzov?
From everyone.
4K.
But I mean, they're still down 2 ships. Both the Bismarck and the Kutuzov. How are they supposed to recover from this?
So one of the smoke-giving ships, yeah, it must be the other destroyer, has actually made it back to the 2 Atagos in North Carolina that was in to the west side of Charlie, and we see him briefly on the north of B, so that's the second destroyer that the team now sees. Yep, yeah, that's Matty.
The issue here is the Bensons are continually forced to smoke up their teammates, so when they try to push into B, they have to do it without any smoke cover, and because the enemy has a carrier, they're just spotted every time they try to push in.
And without cross torps, it's not going to work, because the ships, the NCAL, Bismarck, and Kutuzov that are in the center, they're just constantly kind of lying in and avoiding it. And the other thing is, the pay-to-win guys that's on the south of Charlie, they're just running away, because ultimately the ships that are trying to chase after them are not going towards the capture point. So if you want to follow us, you go right ahead, because you're being completely negated.
760 points now.
Exactly, right? So they need to make a push. So they could rotate into Bravo, use the islands between Bravo and the southern group of south of Charlie of pay-to-win, so they don't get seen, and then both teams, the north and the south side of the ASEET group, could push into B and attack.
Yeah, basically what Mahti Mokari, their Benson, should do now is make a smoke trail down into B and try to secure B. But I feel like he's going to smoke up these guys sitting basically.
Okay, smoke's not gonna get him. Fire blindly, maybe get a hit.
Oh, Buzzlight, no! Oh, he's dead for sure. Or is he?
Well, he might just survive.
Nope, he's dead. He did get torps off on the Enkel though.
I think that's it. And the Kutuzov is now spotted as well.
Yeah, Enkel is moving though.
I mean, I think that was a misplay. Lightyear should have done a smoke trail that led a passage of smoke into the center. That would have allowed Tuleo and the Kutuzov and J in his North Carolina to push in and broadside the ships that are in the center and have your whole team fight the team in the center while not being seen or have any gunfire from the southern pay-to-win team. Then they might have been able to get some kills.
Oh, yeah, this is just, I mean, you gotta say it. It's clearly Wargaming pay-to-win. This is clearly their map. They're completely dominating the map.
It is their map, and they're winning it again quite convincingly.
Yeah, like there was no question about who clearly deserved this win. I mean, the first game was iffy, but this map definitively goes to them. They have proven that they absolutely dominate them on this map. Very convincing win for Wargaming Pay to Win. There can be no doubt of who won this game today. First and third game extremely close, but this map, this is definitely Wargaming Pay to Win's pocket. They have seemed very solid. They have a very simple, I feel, plan.
You
but
see the push here, right? See the push that's coming in from ASEET in the north. This would have worked, as I said, if the eastern group of ASEET had pushed in at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were both going to push down into the cap at the same time, but instead they tried to flank and stuff and spread out, and I don't know, just they didn't really seem to have a proper plan for this map at all. That was a very convincing win.
Yep, no, it was very well done. That is a convincing 2-1 victory. It was close on the rounds, but on this map...
This map, there was no doubt.
No, there's no doubt.
I mean, yeah. Very well played to Wargaming Pay to Win for winning the entire thing.
That was the first good CV torpedo drop on any ship.
Indeed.
It was huge.
Yeah, first of all, I feel like the Bismarck made such a huge play by turning away from it though, because he ended up blocking the North Carolina as well, and then they both ate the torps. It was just complete disaster. But just overall, great play from Wargaming Pay to Win. They clearly deserved it based on that second map. They were definitively in, well, a consistent lead in that map. I felt like they had control from start to finish.
Well, anyway, we're running late here, guys, so thank you very much for staying with us and watching 4 games with me and Flamu.
Indeed.
I'm going to end my stream now momentarily. So I've got the matches up for next week back up on my screen.
Oh, you can feel free to tell them here so people can hear them here as well.
Well, we don't know what dates, but we just know...
you're just watching from the Wargaming set, fair enough.
Well, so we've got Group A, B, and C, and D. You can see it on the stream right now. I've got it up. These are the games that are coming up next week. We will know on Sunday who is streaming what particular game, assuming nobody wants to veto us again, because who would not want us to stream?
Indeed, exactly. Who would not want us? We just forget to mute mics and we force rematches with bugged planes. Like, what a duo!
Yeah, and we get close games, so that's
indeed.
Awesome.
So far, both the games we've casted have been absolutely amazing, though. Like, holy crap.
Yeah. The games yesterday were great as well, so you should just stick with me, right? We'll get all the awesome ones.
Indeed.
Nice and get them. So, I mean, it can also show the caliber that we've got of the Group A, and then just picking these ones and just around the whole game and the whole kind of tournament.
Group A seems amazing. Like, what the hell? All these games so far have been amazing.
A group of death, right? Well, anyway, that's us for today, guys. We're going to end with the Atlantic event advert. That's the trailer for the upcoming EU versus US event.
Ah, yes.
And with that being done, that will end the stream. Thank you very much for watching. We will be back next Tuesday. That's assuming, of course, Omni is not playing on Tuesday, because then Flamu can't stream then. But I will definitely be streaming the game on the Tuesday, and then we'll see who's free. Maybe you decide on that stuff. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and we will see you next week.
Later. And for talking to my own stream, if I assume Farah has ended now, talking to my own stream, I will I will stop it here, but it will take, well, basically I'll have a 15-minute break, since that's how long it will take for you guys to catch up, and then I'll do some normal streaming afterwards, just some random battles and stuff. I think get some daily wins. And for those interested, I won't be streaming anything on Saturday, because I'll be taking part in the EU versus NA Atlantic Showdown. I will be playing for Omni, so I won't be streaming anything on Saturday, so just so you know. But as he said, we'll be streaming again or casting matches again on Tuesday. But now I'm going to shut this off, and I will see you very, very soon because of the delay, and I'll be streaming some normal games.